Part 3. Right here, this is the Kingstone Bible. This is going to be the third entry. My little series I'm doing here, Beloved on the Internet. So this is Kingstone Bible. This is the third volume. If you haven't seen the first two, then go ahead and check those out before you look at this. The great thing about this is you don't have to read those other ones before you read this part. You don't have to view those other videos before you view this one. Alright, so check out that cover. Huh? You got the best upshot of Jesus ever. You got the buff angel guy. Obviously some Hotz horror artwork. I don't know who these other people are. There's some good artwork in here. So it's broken up basically into the Gospels, and then just like you would read in the Bible, the life of Jesus, and then the death and the crucifixion of Jesus, and then the book of Acts. And then after that, they actually do the letters of Paul and the rest of the guys. They illustrate the letters. They put them in context of what they're doing at the time too. And then obviously the grand finale, the book of Revelations. Visually satisfying. That's great. I liked it. By Mr. Hotz. Good stuff as usual. Prop this up and get a good look at this thing. So I remember my little Sunday school artwork criteria. Some of this stuff is... You can't help it, but, it's your great... Randy Alcorn writes part of this. I think it's the Book of Acts part, written by Randy Alcorn. He's a popular Christian author. If you don't know who that guy is, that's fine. But also, Ben Avery, who writes a lot of these, and Art Ayres. He does some stuff. So, he owns a company, I think. Inkers... Pencilers here, we do have Kyle Hotz listed here, and Jeff Slemmons. Obviously, those are my man crushes here that I've been looking through. There's a lot of good stuff here, though, in these volumes. In each gospel, I think, you can tell the art shift, and there's different artists in there and inkers. Jeff Slemmons does his own stuff. There's so many comic book artists out there. Fabricio Guerrera. Some of these guys, I've seen these names in the previous 2 installments. Doreen Button. Okay. Alright, anyway. Table of contents. Helpful biblical timeline. Alright. Pretty standard biblical, kind of like the Sunday school kind of artwork, I think. This is what you think of generic robe, hood, and stuff. Decent illustration, perspective. You got your angel guy. Looks like a. It's got the sandals. I think they'd be able to afford Nikes. Okay, but the angel guy done's kind of sparkly, like Mr. Captain Universe. Oh, this is pretty standard stuff. Okay, predicting the birth of Jesus. Little eyeball shot. She has bloodless birth. Okay, birth. The shepherds. It's announced the same guy. He's yoked out, buff and ripped. All the angels have robes on, tunics, and belts. I was looking at this earlier. It's kind of cool. A little art. I think this is digital. You see like the huge strokes here, like one stroke, and the negative spacing here in the top there makes you think it's digital. That's how clean that is. You can get white out, but it's not going to be the same. It'll be as clean. So we have an art shift again, I believe. This stuff's a little different. This is a little more mature, so it's growing up. This is like teenager Sunday school artwork. The colorist is a little more, what do you call it? I'm going to say radical. Dynamic, we'll say. It's more dynamic. You got the darks and some lights right on top of everything. Very well highlighted. And this is when the Magi come and they find Jesus. He has a crown. He didn't know he's the king. I think that's an English crown, though. I wasn't sure if the rulers of ancient Mediterranean areas had those kind of crowns on. But that's a discussion for another time. A little hatching texture around the border here. Fills in the area because it's black. Boring. See it? Boring. Interesting. Boring. Interesting. Alright. Black is way easier to drop though. So more people like this. So this is another art shift. You got these hard blacks here. Very definite, like I was saying. Inker. So you get here, the artist changes. I think they might use technical pens or something, but there's a lot less blacks coming in there. It's just kind of like impressionistic. You have all these figures top lit by the sunrise, sunset, whatever's going on. Then when you get some real character work here, you see there's not a hard outline on the outside of the figure. There's some blacks that are filled in, but there's not. It's accentuating the rim lighting. It gets a little more of obviously up close shot. You're gonna get some more ink. But when it pulls out, it seems like there's less of a outline. It's kind of weird. This is the colorist is doing this. The colorist is bringing some ultra moody, fancy, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like back to normal. Got my hopes up. Young boy Jesus. Innocent looking. They're playing soccer. Got football. He grew up. He's teaching in the temple. He grew in God. Okay, this is another art shift, I believe. This is Christ, the Son of God. I think this was the incarnation. He splits it up. So we go over to my screen setup here. It's all split up. You got the incarnation. You got the Son of God, the temptation, the disciples, the deliverer, so on. There's 9 volumes. You buy them separately, so it's good to have them collected. But I think there's different art, obviously different art in each one. Okay. So yeah, Sergio Cariello. I don't know, maybe he has it the Spaniard way, but the incarnation. Same guy. Must have just been like the colorist doing it in here. Dude, Sergio is dominating the board. Okay, well, good stuff then. Well, I stand directed. Please tell me. Nah. Yeah. Todd Smith. Todd, your name is very plain. Alright. So we got here. The healer. See, Jeff Isherwood, Joe Rubenstein. So there's gonna be some different artwork coming up here pretty soon. Different guys doing it. On the bottom, they always have the scriptural references down here at the bottom of the page. And the Bible, if you don't know, is told in like 4 different narratives of Jesus' life. So different things happen. So some of these guys, it's like they're around for the same sermon a bunch of times, and the book of John's a little different. It starts later on towards the end of Jesus' life, right before the Passion Week. So most you can have Matthew, Mark, and Luke talking about it. And the only 2 Gospels that have the Christmas story in it is Matthew and Luke. So a little trivia for you if you don't know the Bible very well. This was kind of funny. It's like cinematic. He's like, go out on the waters, put your nets, let's see what you catch. And he goes, Master, are you sure? You're not going to catch anything in the middle of the day. And he goes, okay, let's do it. That's fun. I know, I need to get out more. This is good artwork though. I like this demoniac guy raging. Nasty leper. Yeah, that's good. It's kind of cartoony. I think it's a little bit better than like maybe Sunday school artwork. It's kind of got more of a broader appeal than just kids. Like, look at this guy's face. That's pretty. I'm digging that guy's face right there. How we get the age lines on it, the beard. Everyone looks different. They're not a generic man, you know. You got the intense guy with like a thyroid problem. You got a Joker kind of guy who's kind of funny. You got the old dude who's kind of whoa, trip out. That guy's like, he's bro. Like if they had flat bill hats back then, that guy would be wearing one right there. Money shot. This is a good shot of Jesus. I like that. I made the cover. That's how good it was. They're tearing out the ceiling and lowering the lame man to get paid for. You hit here. Radically different page layout. This makes me think that this was a new book, but I don't think it is. This is awesome. This kind of stuff. Right? To me, this is artwork. Emphasis on the work. Just as an aside, like I get concerned drawing people. Like people draw those splash pages of a character or just a character posing or something, and that's good. You get your chops going, your art chops, I will say. Let me turn this down. So you get your splash pages going. That's good. Like learn how to draw, learn anatomy, etc. But then to have this piece where you're got multiple figures and like uneven terrain like this, and there's like a perspective point right down the middle, and they all have to be like relatively in proportion to themselves and to one another. So the people in the foreground are bigger, and the people in the background, and it has to be consistent on the way back. And the trees, the foliage, all these different characters and the color and stuff, that's just, you know, that's just excellent art. Capital W work. Good stuff. The good thing about this though, I will say, shots like this too, again, artwork, capital W, everything's organic. So there's some leeway with the shapes of things and the shapes of people, the terrain, etc. If this was like a sci-fi environment, like a ship or a big huge room, or like conference room, like in a corporation or a building or something like that, your eye is very unforgiving for little inconsistencies and stuff. I like this nighttime stuff. It's good artwork here. Good shot. Good stuff. Hyper lacrim. It's called lacrimation. Hyper lacrimation. Poor girl. She needs a decongestant or something. Okay. The eye shot. There's a lot of these eye shots are pretty cool. Check it out. Bonus demons. Woo! Demons. Bonus. That's Mary Magdalene. My name is Mary, by the way. My name is Jesus. Look at that. Pretty cool. I mean, that's... And then you gotta draw like the mom, and then, wait, make sure I can get pretty close here. You got like mom, and then you got like a lady going, is that him? Is that him? Is that him? Woo! And you gotta make up all these little stories for all these people. Okay, this guy right here. Can we stop walking now? You know? And then Jesus, what about this? And what about this? And he's like, dude, you're just like, shut up. Okay, so like it. I like her. See, she doesn't have like a comic book nose. She's got like a almost Hispanic looking, Middle Eastern Hispanic. I don't know what you call it. I've seen women with that nose. It's very realistic. It's not generic. Another demon, bonus demon. How was it? How many demons being cast out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. 4. Maybe a 5th one. Then a 6th one here. He goes from looking like that to looking like that. I mean, why wouldn't you want to give your life to Jesus, huh? If anything, just to look better. Look at that shot. That's a good shot, man. Look at the highlights in the hair. This is interesting. The water on the edge. That's kind of cool. And the splashes on there. Colors has just some color holds there. I'll just say, just leave the water for me to do if you can do drips of water. Don't do color holds is a pain in the butt. We can just get an ink pen, a screen with a screen mode on it, and you can do this pretty easily by hand. All right, more demons. What was the count? 3. There's actually 1,000 of them. So, see you later, piggy. That's a good way to do it. The color has changed, I think, because they didn't do the tinting color hold on it. Beautiful scenery. I like those sunset paintings. A lot of these. If I was doing this, every third page would have like a sunset or a sunrise. More demons. This is the deliverer, obviously. He just came to destroy the works of the devil. Yeah, here you go. I'm an advocate for solid colors in comic books, because that would be, as an artist, difficult to draw, but he did it. If you look, it's not something totally amazing, some process. He just drew lines and tried to follow the contours of the folds of the jacket. When we hang on the wall, this is very good stuff. Same penciler, at least. Different inkers are coming in. I think there's some parts that has a different artist in it. More, look at that, yeah. Let's get out. I like the color hold thing better than just the straight up black thing, but he finds the money in the fish mouth. This is okay, it's kind of an art shift. This is the deliverer. What's the next one? The healer or the redeemer? This is totally different. I'm gonna check this out. We're gonna go to the other screen real quick. It's Sergio with just different inkers. So I just wondered, it just looked different to me. So anyway, back to our program. So everybody's done it. So hey, I think it's pretty consistently just competent artwork. So if it's it cranks up to 10 every now and then, goes back down to 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's about where it all goes here. Like I say, emphasis on its artwork with a capital W, I would say. Different colorists come in, like your colorist will do different, put in some stones and dirt right here. Line arts for this kind of stuff. These are parables showing his redeeming nature, the son coming back. Luke 15 is the lost and found chapter of the Bible. What does it mean by redemption? Buying something back, you know, making good of something that's become bad. Like you throw away a aluminum can, it's trash to you, but it's got value to somebody else. That's kind of what the message of the Bible is here. Your life has been messed up by sin. You've become less than stellar via your own decisions. You become not as God intended you to be, we'll say. We have been messed up. We'd be on, families are split up, alcohol, drugs, extramarital affairs. You've messed things up. So God is able to take those situations and redeem them, right? Make something good out of something that's gone bad. So this is the message of this book here. He's got the lost son who fled. He's got this tax collector guy. He's become hated in the community, but Jesus says, "I will come eat at your house." He gave him some credibility. What is this? Where's one of these chairs? I'm interrupting my train of thought. Okay. Anyways, the dead being raised, the sick being healed. It's a message of redemption. So that's what the Bible is all about. Just humanity. You can read the Bible. There's some jacked up humans in there, man. There's some people that do some stupid things. They mess themselves up. They mess entire countries up. Obviously, they kill, steal, commit adultery. They do all these things. But when we get here into the Gospels, we see God has a plan of redemption, redeeming the world from the bad state it's put itself in via sin and unrighteousness. So here he looks at Jerusalem and he's sad. He came to redeem them. They're going to reject him. There he is. So this temple is supposed to be for worship and prayer, but it ain't. Jesus gets all of John Wick over here. He's all, God, what are you doing? Start whipping on people. They don't show him whipping people with cords. I like this shot. Look at this. Drawing boxes in perspective is kind of hard. People, you got to get the foreshortening right and stuff. This is a good shot. Good stuff. Artwork. Emphasis on, let's see, what am I in John 2. This is Jesus the teacher, I think. He's doing a lot of talking. This might be Passion Week. Oh, this is my favorite resurrection shot here. I'm going to go over to the other. This is my favorite resurrection shot. This is Lazarus coming up out of the grave. This is the cover art for one of the episodes. It's not included in the 3-volume set. But this is money right here. This is good composition. I like the expressive hands, and he's standing there. You can almost picture his face like, what just happened? I thought I was dead. It's on a little track when they put out, like a little mini comic that my friend gave me, but it's got this picture as the cover. This is cool. It's like, it's rim. What do you call that? The vignette or the... I don't know what you call it, but it's circling what you're supposed to be looking at. Yeah, Jesus here. You got everyone's like all shocked and astonished. Got that great colorist work in the back here on the clouds. Just all this fabric and stuff, the detail, it's great. Great stuff. Joy, 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 joy. All right. Anyways, I opened that for no real reason, huh? Okay. Let's see what the teacher who's in charge. Do I see any of this stuff? Yeah, we're coming to the end. I think we're in the Passion Week because we're starting to take from John now. Yeah, we're already in the Passion Week. And what that means is he's drawing near to his crucifixion. So the week's coming up to it. He's making these stands and saying things that are going to get him in trouble. The Twitter mob is going to get him. Okay, anyways. Another thing. Hey, remember that thing? Look at that tree. The stripes. Are they striping him on so we know it's Peter? That looks funny. They almost look comical. supposed to be the bad guys, but okay. I'm just gonna skip ahead one of these things. I'm gonna try to find out who the artist is here. Looks like here that they're already, yeah, this is Nicodemus at night. Nick at night. Yeah, so we're still in part 1. Let me check out this artist real quick. It's Jeff Isherwood. Jeff Isherwood and Edgar Bercasio. Fabio Guerrera again. Thank you, Fabio. Very vibrant colors. Good job. All right. Artwork with a capital W. I'm gonna find a way to capitalize on that. Okay, so here's some cool shots of angels. Buff guys, buff armor, yoked out, buff and ripped. Yo-bar angels. What is this? Matthew 25. The righteous will ask him. Okay, this is talking about when the Son of Man sits on the throne. Okay, there's the money heaven shot right there. Jesus is like, this is the stuff my agent told me about. I don't know about the rest of this stuff. Hey, here's Ewan McGregor. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. I knew it. I knew it. Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's in the Bible. They're biblical. Alright. There's a striped guy. That must be Peter. Okay. Here he come. Here comes the Act 2. The plot to kill Jesus. The angel strengthens him. He's his final temptation here. Did they show the ear? Well, they didn't even show him chop the ear off. Oh, I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. What happens is Peter, in his cool prisoner outfit here, he tries to defend Jesus, and he hacks off the ear of one of the guys assaulting him. His name is Malchus. He's one of the temple guard. In the movie Passion of the Christ, it's a guy that looks like Marty Friedman from Megadeth. But no, I don't think it's second. But anyways, this is he could have been somebody, a regular guy. I don't know why this regular guy would be here assaulting Jesus with troops, and he's not a disciple. It just doesn't make sense. This must have been one of the guard. Yeah. Different little vertical panel layout there. Pretty cool. Good colors in here. Very good coloring. Kind of bigger eyeballs. Yeah, it's kind of made for the kiddies and stuff. But who's this? He is the high priest, I think. It's good. Peter starting to cry. He's denying Jesus. Judas is giving the money back. I want my money back. Please give me a clean conscience. We can't do that. Look at this detail. He draws every brick. I went to Jerusalem one time. I seen those stones. I forget what they called them. The special kind of architecture had like a border throughout the edges of each stone. Herod cut stones. I don't know what you call them, but brilliant architecture. Cat of nine tails, an actual thing. Very brutal instrument of torture. Pieces of bone and stone and stuff interwoven in these strands of this whip. Oh, Jesus, carrying that cross beam. And added him to the upright, and he's up in the air. It's about as bloody as you can make it and not give kids nightmares. There you go. He dies. I'm in the tomb. So what they would do is, if they weren't dying fast enough from all the torture and stuff, they would break their legs. So Jesus died fast, and he died. So when they went to break everybody's legs, they're like, well, this guy's already dead. Oh yeah, here, test him. And so that's what this comes from, is the wound underneath the ribs. Testing to make sure he's actually dead. The stone is rolled away. This is the angel. Mary. This right here, this guy. This guy looks like the gladiator boss from the movie Gladiator, the guy that won his freedom when he, after being a gladiator, doing real well, he gets shanked at the end by a bunch of Roman soldiers, so, the Praetorian Guard. He also stars in this comic. Little cobblestone detail, pretty cool. A lot of work. This is a cool panel. I saw this yesterday when I was flipping through this. This is Jesus, resurrected Jesus and his former disciples here in the boat. And I don't know, I came up with this idea. This kind of a tweaked out piece of wood that frames the two people speaking here. Okay, so here's the disciples. I guess when you're a fisherman, you get ripped. And you don't wear a shirt at night, so in the morning, yeah, his cool prisoner outfit here. Alright. This is the Ascension. Just real quick, check out the clouds in the background here. Made by hand, I think, in Photoshop, I would say. Or whatever coloring program they use. Alright, so this is the second section of this book, is the book of Acts. Acts is written by Luke, who wrote the Gospel of Luke as well. So this is like the Gospel of Luke part 2. But this one's kind of different because it is written by Randy Alcorn, who's like this best-selling Christian author guy. And he writes novels and nonfiction and different things. And very good books. Stuff on money, stuff on heaven. You know, just an all-around trusted author. So he wrote this entire book. In the book of Acts, I'll say, if you look at the little screen here, the book of Acts is splitting up into different parts. You have the awakening, the missionary, the apostle, the martyr. So this is like the church, and then it goes into spreading the gospel, and then they go the Apostle Paul's conversion, etc. And then where he went with his life. This is the same creative team that did the book of Esther. And I was flipping through this, and I was looking at it. The art was looking familiar to me, and I said, this has got to be the same crew. So we kind of analyze the art of Javier Saltares and Ben Prevenost. Two guys together make a good team. And then there's that inker guy, and yeah, inkers are unsung heroes, those inkers. Anyway, the whole thing is done with like this kind of intense, I don't know if it is for mood or what, but the borders and the whole pages are black. Right. This is like a little mini intro that's not in the original comic here that I could find anyways. But this is Luke, you know, writing his letters, just kind of like sets up what happens, and then the story starts here. And so the artwork's very good, kind of like anime-ish, realistic kind of westerny style with some very moody coloring. Like it's like the palette is limited, and it's always two light sources, you know, trying to pick up a lot from this colorist and how he does things. You can have him lit from the side, but then down the center, you can see his eye. This is just me analyzing other people's stuff. So you can see like a little desaturated purple or a blue or something that just lights the rim, you know, his brow, top of his cheek. It just shows that there's like where you're standing looking at him, you got a light behind you right over his head, in addition to the main lighting that comes from behind him on both sides. Great technique. Like at this shot here, I believe this is a flashback to Jesus, but he's got like the light coming on him from the window, but then like a rim or a middle light coming here, like a spectral light, I don't know what they would call it, coming on him to just define the features that are going to be in shadow because of the main light source. So look at that, the big color hold on all the line work here. Very cool looking. It looks like you could reach out and touch that. It looks like a huge biscuit. Making me hungry already. I think this is what they mean by casting lots. D&D cubes with weird symbols on them. I don't know. See that? I don't know, the lighting on that guy. See? The main light. And kind of this subtle purpley light defining the features that are in shadow. It's pretty cool. Good technique. This is tongues of fire set upon each of them. Pretty cool. There's some chick getting slapped here. Oh no. He's pointing. It's like he's doing like one of them backhands, and yeah, that's what street preaching. Not everyone appreciates it. I like this. This is well rendered, very well. Light source right above this one, very good. It's got good expressions. It's kind of cartoony, but you know this guy isn't like a hack artist or a beginner. He's got great angles. He's able to do perspective. He creates mood with just the blacks and stuff. Look at this. The colorist does like the reflections on the floor. It's a nice touch. See, here's what I'm talking about right here. You got the light sources behind it, but he has this other spectral light defining the features that are in shadow. So I'm going to use that. Nice. Very good use of light here. So dark. So dark. See, limited palette creates a mood. This is these people are plotting, scheming, and scamming. This is stuff that's not really in the Bible, like just like in the story of Babylon, they had to put some dialogue in it, kind of to embellish the plot a little bit. But this is Randy Alcorn. He's a nonfiction guy plus a novelist. People love his work. So writing comic scripts is a little different, but it's pretty close to prose because you describe the environment and all that stuff. I've heard that writing a TV show script or a movie script is way different than prose, which is way different than comic. I don't know. I've only done the first two, so I can tell you. But everything's gonna be nice and cinematic. That's what I like about comics. Is like if you got a movie idea in your head, you don't have to make the movie. You just draw the comic. That's pretty cool. Very good stuff. Look at this. This cool demon being cast out here. I like this. Get the color hold on top of there. Like a exclusion layer on top of this. The blending method, maybe. Which I use in Star Wars, The Dark Hunter, now available on Webtoons. So, Angel, good metal rendering there. The glowy water. Feel it baptize them, guys. This is tales of all the powerful things God did right here. This is like just good stuff. Good artwork. Good color work. Good color work. This is a very good comic artist, backed up by an exceptional colorist. There's some trash going on outside. Hope that doesn't pick up here. Okay, the Bible says something like scales fell off of his eyes, so I guess this is scales. You know what I would have drawn? Like some big old nasty, fleshly colored, bubbly scabs with like liquid stuck to his eyes, kind of like he's pulling them off, and his eyes are kind of puffy, and they got that sleep in them, you know, the eye boogers. That's what I would have drawn. But they drew like these little pills or something. I don't know what they're, but that's okay. See, this is Star Wars: The Dark Hunter here. You don't know this, but my story on Webtoons is basically Acts chapter 9, painted over with Star Wars, injected a little bit of Minority Report in there, and that's what the story is. So, here's Saul of Tarsus. He's a heavy hitter hunting the church, persecuting them. And then Jesus shows up one day, knocks him off his high horse, literally, and he walks around. And then there's this guy Ananias who's got to go get him and pray for him, witness to him. That's kind of like what my other character, Biz Cody, does. Everywhere terrorist goes, people have to help him escape, or there's all kinds of conflict and people getting shot and dying, all that stuff. And so nobody trusts him everywhere he goes. Like, get this guy out of here, he's going to cause all of our deaths, etc. It's a good story. You should go read it. In fact, pause right now and go read it. I'll wait for you. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? You can see how it ties in. Oh, it ties in. So there's some lady. She's sick, you can tell. This looks like a hospital room too much to me. But you know what? Because these look like curtains. Like you would go into a patient room, there'd be curtains. Okay. Awesome armor. Check that guy out. Yeah. Okay. Look at the highlights, how he renders the way he did the pig. It just looks slimy. Okay, this is vision. This is Peter's vision of the sheet that comes from heaven with all these different animals on it. And God says, eat these animals. He's like, no, they're unclean. He's like, do not call unclean what I have made clean. And so he's talking about giving the gospel to the non-Jews now. Because that's how they kind of, this is kind of like the division that was back there. So he's a Jew, he sees everyone else as these animals. So, but that's the great thing about the gospel, is it breaks down those barriers of prejudice and racism and different things without, you know, manipulation or legislation or anything like that. A real church will be a diverse church without any kind of guilt tripping or virtue signaling. Thank you and good night. Anyways, here's this. Great lighting. Main lighting, rim lighting on the side there. Very cool. Same picture. This guy probably doesn't copy and paste, so look at that. That's cool. Now, all right. I'm just saying, tiled for it. Looks like in ancient Rome, a murder happens in a 50s diner. Yeah, but anyways. Right. Cool like dusk palette here. Like it. Dig it. Love it. Back to the daytime. Some nice bright vibrant colors. Nighttime sky rendering by hand. Some guys would just go get a star map. This guy right here probably would go get a star map. What's up with this? Oh, he wants to sacrifice it. He thinks they're gods. They came and they healed this guy's feet, or they prayed for him and God healed him, and so he's all crazy. But the whole town, this is Lystra, right? Yeah, it's Lystra. They turn them to idols and stuff, and so even stone polish is good. Good speed lines for a guy yelling. Ramps up the intensity. Nice comic book coloring artwork right here. Good rendering. This is a map. Let's take a little vector art skills, a little graphic design here. It's pretty cool. Is Paul and Silas, or yeah, it's Paul and Silas. Paul and Barnabas got mad at each other and they broke up. They broke up the team, man, because of Mark. Mark's always causing problems. Look at this. This is his dream of the Macedonian man. Come over here and preach to us, not just help us. Preach to us. People want ministry, man. In the camera on my screen, this looks like a trickle of blood coming down, but it's not. It's just his cheeky grin, so he did not get punched. This is Timothy. Okay, and there's his grandma Lois. Right, and his dad was a Jew and his mom was a Greek, I think. So he got Timothy, he circumcised him. Ouch. They don't show that here. But Timothy goes to be like his right-hand man, and he can trust him. He leaves him to pastor some church somewhere. I'm not sure which one it is. That's another depiction of a demon being cast out. A very interesting way you can do this kind of thing, is being separated from a demonic influence like that. We've seen several different depictions of these. Guys get yoked in prison back then too. See that? Also, when Paul and Silas get trapped in prison, and everyone's in there, and they start singing songs like the prisoners are singing. What? And then the earthquake happens, and all the gates open up. And they say, "I'm gonna kill myself because I'm gonna be fired." Like, don't kill yourself. We're all still here. We just stayed in our cell, you know, whatever. So the prisoner's like, "What? What must I do to be saved?" And you know, he gave his life to Jesus, and he brings him to his home. Yes, dude, what's up with that? Another powerful conversion. Right. This almost looks like a step backwards in time, like they drew this first and then went back and drew the first. I don't know, something about this, the line work here, and the, I don't know, maybe I'm just seeing things. But Paul is now bald. More cool vector artwork. The map, Photoshop excellence. Okay. More depictions of how a demon would be cast out there. Some pretty good ones. And they all look different. Different design, different devils, etc. Kind of always thought, you know, if it was a spirit of divination, it would look different than a spirit of infirmity, you know. There we have it. Look at this cool lighting. See that, that pale lighting and the rim lighting? It's a trope now. Oh, hi! Okay. Cool lighting. Like it. Like it. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Some of these things I could just stare at. I don't know. It's just how I'm weird like that. Just analyzing. I like how he has flat cheeks. He's got that thing where Elion Jess has the same thing going on in his face. I gotta try and capture this somehow. Kind of like the flat cheekbones. Like that. That's how you're gonna do them. Middle of the eye. The nose. Very well lit. Very competent. I apologize to any Seventh-day Adventists that are watching this. Yeah, look at Joel. This is all of a sudden like a weird color palette shift. Like he's got like the morose, purpley stuff. I guess there's hints of green here. And all of a sudden, bam! The sunburst around him is it's like this bright green. Stark contrast with like that purpley, pinky thing going on. But they escape the wrecked ship, and then Paul gets bitten by a snake, but he doesn't die, so that makes him believe in God even more. The trip. Okay, so that's the book of Acts, and ends up with Paul growing old, accepting visitors of all kinds at his house while he's still a captive, so to speak. It's kind of like he goes to that step-down prison where they send celebrities and elderly folks So that's the book of Acts, ladies and gentlemen. And we go into the letters, okay? Now, during the book of Acts, people are writing a bunch of letters everywhere. And so what's going to happen here in the next couple segments is they're going to be, the artists are going to be illustrating the subject matter of the letters. They vary the artists in here, and we're going to get ready for some good variables. So this right here, obviously, you know who this is. You can tell by the style, the way he does the cloth, the way he does faces. It's all dark. It's a semi-horror film looking thing. It's Kyle Hotz, ladies and gentlemen. We grow to like Kyle. Epistles are instructions on how the church should behave, how the believer should behave, and how you handle things like relationships, money, the sick, problems in the church, etc. So the artists are depicting these things. Art shift. This is a different artist here in 1st and 2nd Corinthians. This does look kind of Sunday school artish to me, with like a brand new colorist, but competent, but just not spectacular like the last guy. Yep. Dealing with all the problems in the church. The 2 books of Corinthians. Shift up. This is for Galatians. Totally different artist. Really thick black line here. Paul's the bald guy. Okay. This is a different artist totally here. This guy's a good detail like costume variants and accessories and different things of these 1st century folks. Not only is he like they talk about Jews and Gentiles alike right here, so it's going to predict. He's going to depict a whole vast array of nations and races and stuff, but he doesn't just do it with by drawing a black guy, a Chinese guy, a white lady, but he's got the different costume styles or clothing styles from throughout the world. And a little color hold, orange color hold, little screen. All right, here's Paul though. He's got some more hair here though. He's going bald. His hairline is running away from him. Look at this brickwork on the detail. It looks better on the screen than it does in person. I'm looking at it. It's kind of, when I'm looking up at the screen, it looks like there's more of a contrast here. And the contrast looks better. Paul's writing. This is Colossians, a theology book. He's writing about Jesus actually being physical among us, not just a walking phantasm. So 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. This has got a prophetic book talking about the day of the Lord and the coming in the clouds and all that stuff. A lot of great prophecy kind of stuff in here. This is the book of 1st and 2nd Timothy. Timothy was Paul's right-hand man. He dropped him off at some church. It wasn't Corinth. Maybe it was Ephesus, Philippi, one of those places, but he ended up pastoring the place. And so he was writing them letters on helping them, like his true son in the faith. So that's what 1st and 2nd Timothy are. Go, and there's like yoked out buff guy getting baptized. Why would you pour it over their head if they're already in water? Just dunk them. This is Titus. Titus is another one. They say Titus was probably just super young. Probably his late teens, early 20s when he was a pastor. So who knows? When I get to heaven, I'll watch the video. Okay, Paul writing a note to Philemon about Onesimus, who is now a convert, and help this guy out. He's just starting out, kind of thing. Give him a chance. And here we have Hebrews, a longer book, about 13 chapters. And Jeff Slemmons comes back to us. Yay. And you can just tell the step up in quality of the artwork here. Almost like he's making it look like his flesh is ribboned out and crusted over. That's just awful looking. Check out this nice detail. This guy's, I don't know, just his life preserver vest. Just great stuff. I like this detail here in this thicket. Who'd have known that foliage could be so interesting? Another art shift. James, the very, very practical book of the Bible. So James, most of this stuff is drawn in modern day kind of an aesthetic, so we can relate to it, how to practically live out your life. 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, all written by, you guessed it, John. Good competent artwork here. Very good. This is the book of Jude. This is the last epistle, but it's got kind of like a youth graphic novel, kind of YA fiction look to it. Just different color palette for almost every frame, every panel. Jude and 2 Peter have almost the same structure to them, same subject matter. It's kind of a trip. So here is the fourth section of this volume, and this is the book of Revelation. This is the big one. I mean, when I was looking through this on the computer yesterday, you can just sit there and dig into these things. You can tell they're just like these super huge, sometimes nothing but 2-page splashes. I mean, the book of Revelation is just so visual, and there's many interpretations of how things might have looked, and it's frightening, it's victorious. The human mind, I don't think, can grasp the concept of heaven or grasp real terror of hell. So his depictions are just way out there, and I think it's perfect, you know, for the book of Revelation. Look at this. This is the pale horse, pestilence. It's got the little flies buzzing around him and stuff. You got the emaciated kids walking, and then it's like they walk and they become a pile of skulls almost, the way it's arranged right there. It's a narrative. This is the dark horse. Rider was holding a pair of scales. Okay, yeah, this is famine, I think, right? Famine or poverty, yeah. This is the red horse, which is, I think this is war, just death. Rider, yeah, took peace from the earth, gave men power to slay each other. That horse is scary looking. He's breathing some kind of toxic smoke. I don't know if he's inhaling or exhaling, whatever he's doing, he looks threatening. Look at that cool gauntlets, the armor on these guys. He had to make up a new evil, cool looking bad guy. He's got the sniper set up over here. This is the white horse. He's a conqueror, which is just like maybe in a political sense more than anything else. Here, according to his depiction, he's got these weirdos down here that look like something from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And you got zombies going off to the voting booth. Then you got this hotshot political dude here that everyone's just filming and being all obsessed about. So he just puts a hood on this guy. He's got a crown in his hand, so the crown is like the political authority symbol. Look at some beasts of Revelation. This is a trip. Look at this. I'm not sure if it's cute or I'm just scared to death looking at that thing. Whoever the inker is, good job on them wings. Look at those guys. The way he does cloth, it's kind of a trip, man. Just deep shadows. No subtlety. And you can just take your highlight airbrush and go straight down here, and the form is already made for you pretty much. This is underwater death, where a comet comes and kills like a third of the animals in the sea, and a third of the animals on land, and the people. A third of the day was without light, and also a third of the night. Something's going on there. Locusts tormenting people. Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, was king over them. He comes out. Abaddon. I got the asymmetry thing. He's got 3 eyeballs on one side. This guy's got 2 eyeballs on one side. These guys come into your door. You got no jaw. Tall guy, long neck, no jaw. You got dual mouth, 5 eyeball guy. You got twisted cyclops left side of head horn guy. You got shrunken smoking head like Earthworm Jim. Oh, wow. This does not look like a fun time to be alive, but even then people still don't repent. And God sends wonder after wonder. The 2 witnesses, these 2 prophets. Here it talks about how people surmise that this is Moses and Elijah. This is the money shot though. This made the cover. This is horrible looking. I like it. I was looking close at this the other day on the computer version, and it's got some there's like a layer on top of this that's just flecked with yellow splotches of paint. Like he did his own texture and scanned it in or whatever, or he has a brush that does this automatically. I can't, like, just by a quick look, I can't really see stuff that looks like a repeat. Like it's a brush that repeats the same flecking pattern over and over again. And you just kind of put like a screen layer or an overlay highlight on top of everything. He doesn't even try to get some of it behind the rocks. It's all just on top. But when you go like this, far away, you don't care. It just looks like a big explosion-y thing. Another ghastly depiction of boils. Death of the land creatures. You got like the turtle, poor turtle, a dude, got a hippo, a couple of hippos. There's a hippo there. There's a kind of a yak or something. Dead croc. Another guy. Bunch of fishes. Some more nasty zombie like. And this is kind of a trip. I saw this. These got these aliens. Big eyeball, big head, but they got this weird frog-looking demeanor. And they got the 7-headed beast with the 10 horns and the crown on each horn. And the same guy from before. The other guy. These are hailstorms. It looks like they're throwing bags of dirty laundry down on people. Those are supposed to be the huge hail stones that weigh a ton. Here's the woman on the beast, riding a different beast. Mystery Babylon, the mother of prostitutes, the abominations of the earth. This is the Antichrist. He's got cool red eyes. He's got awesome hairdo though. Starring Keanu Reeves. Keanu? Yeah. Boom. You know that's someone's tattoo, like on their back shoulder or something. Here's Revelations 19. This is the victory. This is the resurrected Christ here. Coming back. And this beast is bound and cast into the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. This yoked angel, look at those quads. He does not skip leg day. There you go, folks. They have leg day in heaven. But there's no soreness, only gains. Yeah, so then the beast is let out so it can be finally judged and tossed into the lake of fire. Yay. There's that mansion you've been promised. The Great White Throne Judgment. The 2 trees again. Has these explanations down here. You know how in comic books Spider-Man will say something and there's an asterisk next to it, and then at the bottom it says, see Captain America number 345. Apostle John this whole time is just freaking out. That's it. And there he is talking about it, and that's what I wrote down. It's going to be the hardest book in the Bible to understand. He lived the longest out of all the apostles, and I think he died a natural death eventually. Just of old age. So, good stuff. Thanks for watching. If you didn't notice, this thing was done in 2 parts because I accidentally clicked the stop recording button yesterday, so I had to redo everything today from a certain point. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. And this thing's usually like $50 for all 3 volumes. He has sales every now and then. It's just a good, it's a good piece of work, and you can give it to your kid after you're done with it. All right, so have a good day.